it was suggested that we all use the same background. So we're gonna get one of the interns to get us like a screenshot or something of the studio on campus, and then we can use that as the background for everybody.
I done put a whole bunch of work in to get my damn background all tight, man. I changed up my little studio. I got some new artwork. I got John Carlos back there. That's John Carlos. Check him out. Throw the fist up.
Oh, I see you. Okay.
Fred did that.
Joe said, "I don't care if it's Basquiat. You go change to the new."
Man, look, I got my little LED lights and shit.
Welcome back to 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast, a show focused on highlighting the illustrious Prairie View A&M University, the HBCU of Texas, by promoting SWAC and the HBCU experience, featuring your fellow PV Panthers, Roland Austin, J.Cleazy, Big Mike Washington, three-time SWAC champ Gati Werema, former drum major HBCU band historian Shaunetta Heiskell, and Al Williams, driving the show from the Hill. Please subscribe and follow us on social media at 1876 SCP. And don't forget, we do it for the culture.
And welcome to the 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast. We back at you, season 6, episode 2. Man, it sure feels good. All is right with the world when we got football back, man. I don't know about y'all, but I've been struggling all summer, man. And just to be in the house with get the band going, and it's just something in that atmosphere made. I was excited, man. What about y'all?
Look, everything says it's fall except the weather.
That part.
The weather did not get the memo that is coming up on fall season.
That's what I was gonna say, because the atmosphere was awesome. Going to see the HBCU of Texas, Prairie View A&M University, play against our down the road rival, Tennessee. What's their name called?
Texas Southern.
That's right. My bad.
STU.
What they say, Jack Yates Institute, Jack Yates College.
Man,
it was awesome.
Ain't nothing like walking up into the media room and all the reporters and media folks, they got a box of French's chicken sitting there right there.
Already.
HBCU games at its finest, baby.
Yes. And governor's formation.
I'm gonna tell you though,
it was. Go ahead, Joe.
Was hot. It was, the atmosphere was electric. It was awesome. The band, the fans, but boy, it was moist.
I tell you what, I am now. I am at that age where if we don't have a suite, I ain't going, bro. I'm watching on TV.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna much lie to you, because when I walked from my car to the stadium, by the time I got there, I was a little moist, man. I'm like, hold on, bro. And then I walked in that suite and that air conditioning hit. I was like, yeah, see, I'm at this age now where this is the only way I am coming to a game, period.
Well, I'm not there yet. So, I do aspire to be like you. However, there is something about Shell. That the big BBVA and Shell or the Shell Energy State. Dude, it's like, I don't know who designed that place. But you can walk in and you instantly get, when you walk out of there, I don't know about walking in, but walking out of there, you feel like a 10, 15 degree drop.
Yeah.
Like, what is it about this place that's hotter inside than it is outside?
Yeah. I don't know how soccer do it. I don't know how soccer do it.
No, not at all. I couldn't watch a soccer game in there, buddy.
I don't know how they do it.
No. Man, but, last week we talked about the social media. Hey, did y'all see your boy go viral? A long snapper. The boy got swag, man. Ben Stewart. That's my dog now, man. That's my dog. Number 30, Ben Stewart. our long snapper. He got out there and gave him the business, boy.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought they were just exploiting the brother, at first. I said, well, here we go. Another, non-melanated at a HBCU. We gonna give him a little shine. But you got about halfway through, about the first 30 seconds, and that boy hit. I said, wait a minute.
Hey,
yeah, man.
This ain't no act for him.
No,
he was on the sideline,
yeah,
bro. He was turned up on the sideline. He got this honest, bro. That's Paul Wall nephew or something, man.
Yeah, just to let you know, he fully embraces the culture. At the end of the game, he was one of the first of a couple to go grab a chair, which is
He grabbed a chair.
He grabbed the chair.
And walked to the middle of the field with the chair.
He didn't just learn that over the summer. No, he has grown up in this.
Hey, so when TSU walks out with the chair, right? Their team came out with a chair. Why did I have half the media room ask, "What's the meaning of the chair?"
Lord!
I had to put my PBS on. Oh, that was that instance that happened 4 weeks ago. And I get it. Okay,
it has been adopted by all of Black America as the new symbol.
Hey, hold on. How about Alabama State got it on a shirt? And it said, "Come find out," with a chair on it.
Yes, I'm here for it.
Oh man, the chair is gonna be the start of the season. That's all I got to say.
The chair was the unofficial answer to try that in a small town. It is just it's as esoteric as it can get, but just so meaningful for all.
But you know what? This could turn ugly though, because you're gonna have at the end of every game now. Players gonna come out there with folding chairs. I could see that turning sideways.
Yeah, especially for a really good game.
Yeah, and by the time we got that third quarter, man, the Astros are playing up the street, but we needed a rally cap, so I just took my hat off and I just tossed that bad boy up, gave a signal. Next thing them boys scored some points. So I don't know, man. If we down, the hell with a rally cap, just toss that hat in the air, man.
New traditions.
Yes, indeed.
Traditions. So now, Joe, I know you went to the Labor Day Classic Gala. So how was that? That was our first ever gala for the Labor Day Classic. How was that?
Man, it was a good time. For it to be the first of many to come, it was a full house. Every table was sold out. I heard they had to turn folks around because they didn't get a large enough venue. So I anticipate it'll be at a larger venue, and to a sold out crowd again. But it was a nice time. Everybody was looking jazzy in their tuxes and beautiful after 9 whatever gowns, and LaShonda Williams was the after 5 whatever. I don't go out that early.
He said after what?
Did you say after 9?
After 9.
Did you have on the tux, Joe? Did you wear a tux?
I did.
Was that your after 9 tux?
It was after 9 tux.
I didn't get that till by 8:45, so But anyway, it was a good time. LaShonda Williams was the mistress of ceremony, I believe, and she did a wonderful job. That Dr. Charles McClellan was the guest of honor. He did a speech, and I'd been around Dr. McClellan, Chuck, many times. That was the most he'd opened up and spoke about his personal history, story, background information about his past. He told a couple stories he said he had never spoken about before. So that was a great speech by him. He shot out a couple folks that touched his life during his PV journey. Emmett Wooten was one. Terrell Ellison was another. A couple other people he spoke about who are now doing great things from PV, Prairie View alumni. But it was a great time, man. I will be going there again, just like I'll be going to the one in Dallas for the Cotton Bowl every year.
Yeah,
very proud of it.
Heard phenomenal things. Everybody in their kind of red carpet attire, but if you look at the pictures on social media, it looked like a beautiful event.
Yeah, yep, it did.
Yeah, I love the fact that we brought back the SWAC commissioner, Dr. Charles McClellan, to speak at his alma mater. Is it me, or does he look like a university president in the making?
Yes, he does.
He got that walk, man. It's a certain thing.
Yeah.
You know it when you see it. He got it, man.
Yeah, but we need him where he is. He spoke about the importance of him being on that NCAA basketball tournament committee. Yeah. And I didn't know how deep it was or how impactful it is, because that's major money that tournament generates and is distributed amongst conferences. And he helps make the decisions with that, along with that committee. So the seat he's in right now may be more impactful for the culture than it is if he were to be a president somewhere. But hey, whatever happens, happens.
We'll see, man. He just got that look to me.
He's got the look. He's got the background.
So Friday night, the spots open up for the RV lot for homecoming, and once again, it's a whole mess. Come on, man. We can't get parking right.
What's wrong? I plan to, when we finish recording, I plan to get my spot. What's going on?
Oh, it's gonna be tight. You're gonna be out there.
You plan to get one today?
You're gonna be in Third Ward. You're gonna be down there in Third Ward in the grass.
Yeah, you're gonna.
No.
Yeah,
you're gonna be parking at Buc-ee's.
Right. I think they had multiple links, but only certain people got certain links, because even some of the season ticket holders didn't get the season ticket holder link. So, I mean, we got to get this right, man. And why are we waiting until the night before the first game to open this up? We can do this in the spring.
Yeah, that's the point right there. The timing. Not only do you have multiple links, but we're just now getting this in the year of our Lord 2023, at least 1 week, less than 1 week, actually, before the Labor Day Classic. Why are we just now getting this? And you don't know which link to use.
It's like when you re-up your season tickets, you should get the first dibs at that point. Yep. And then you sell the residual after the season tickets have been sold. Yep. It's not rocket science. Just
no.
Not a big problem to me is that when you open it up for anyone, you could have a homecoming where we say we're playing Southern. You got
Southern
these cats. Southern Knights bought up half the damn parking lot.
Yep.
Tailgating at our homecoming.
That's what happened in 2021.
Yep. I don't know, man. I really want to be quiet about that whole situation, but it's frustrating. It's depressing. It's disappointing. Because it's not like you want any type of special treatment or anything, but you do kind of feel like that you should have some type of
man. When your tailgate crew then donated 5 to 10 G's every year for the last 5-6 years, a year, even the COVID year when they didn't let us tailgate, which is where you generate the funds, then you deserve some special privilege.
Yeah,
you do. Let's be what it's
When you got to fight with G and Pop, they told no, you're not gonna do it.
But you can't do Jellystone.
You got to fight with G and Pop and everybody else that's trying to flood to homecoming and flood to every game that's big and all that kind of stuff. No, man, I'm not finna be up at midnight trying to click on the link and all that kind of stuff.
I did like the countdown though.
I mean, that's great, but man, my internet don't work like that. You know what you want to say? Wait, my internet is set up.
We know it don't.
So you're gonna be one of the tens of thousands right at the gate, trying to pull up that link.
See, Roland, you gonna maybe travel 10 miles up the road to the Starbucks so I can get an RV spot? You got 2 laptops, a phone, and an iPad set up, all clicking.
Right, at the same time.
Yes.
Hey, maybe one day. We ain't dead yet, so it's time.
It's still time.
Well, I want to send a message to our new AD, Dr. Goss. Take parking back from UPD, please. If you don't do nothing else, let that be a first order of business. Take control of parking, because that contributes the biggest or the most significant part of game day experience is my ability to park and tailgate. Okay. If I'm mad after that,
of the day,
you can't. There's nothing you can do in the stadium that can make up for that.
I'm pissed for 5
I'm already on 10.
Yeah,
I'm on 10. So speaking of that, UPD, Chief Jemison.
That boy's a professional
I
transition.
thought he was. Somebody said Jimison is gone, and we all got excited like he was at the Wiz at the end, you know. And now we hear this. He got promoted.
Yeah, I guess I had my facts wrong on that one. I
Yeah,
had
acting
eaten
like
a lot of crow.
acting like a Republican with them unchecked facts.
Hey man, look,
man.
I
That
was just
boy-
excited. Hold on. Fact is, he's no longer at PV now.
This is true.
I left. Period. No dot, no comma, just period. But
That-
again, I
he
wonder,
failed
like,
up.
yeah, exactly. Like,
He
will
bailed up.
and you wonder
That's,
if he'll
that's
still
the
have
most
it.
Republican-ish I've ever seen in my life. Failing up is a Republican mantra.
That's okay. I mean, listen, I'm glad he got the job, but you know, I just
So what is the role?
So he is now. He's
on the Texas A&M Chancellor's committee for law enforcement over there. The Texas A&M member University Police Chiefs Council. So there's a whole Texas A&M member university council. So all of those schools that fall under that council, he's kind of over that council.
So they created this job for him.
Yep.
Yes.
It was created.
So again, you got to ask yourself: will we still see his policies flow down to us?
I got a funny suspicion of what our next police chief is going to look like, and if we don't take anything from last week's interview, we're going to have to show up at the Board of Regents meeting to ensure that does not happen.
Well, his command runs straight to the chancellor's office.
Right, exactly. So
the chancellor needs to hear from us. Hey, that's your boy, but don't come over here with that bullcorn.
Yeah, and he needs to hear now, not later after the mistake has been made.
Yes, exactly. All right, one last thing before we go over and talk some football. Who controls the DJ booth at these games? I need a clear understanding. Is that a neutral person from the stadium or is that somebody from the team? Because Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell is not the song that you play when a team is in the middle of a comeback from 17 points down.
In the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter. Are we serious right now? It came on. I'm like, wait.
What is going on?
You know, somebody hacked the Bluetooth or something. We need some Nuck If You Buck. We need some Wipe Me Down, blow the whistle, something.
Some move, get out the way.
Yeah.
But that was their DJ they hired. That was psychological warfare, man.
Is it not a home field advantage? Is it not? It falls to the home field.
Yes, that's true. They did. Yeah, because they had all the kids in the stands that wasn't even born when that song came out singing it.
Like, the DJ turned the music down, and everybody's still in there singing it like it's Maze, Frankie Beverly and Maze or something.
Yeah, that's to get you off kilter. Y'all been coming back too strong. Let me shut you down a little bit. Calm your nerves some.
That's some old smooth jazz. That's some old smooth jazz, Dr. Reed stuff, ain't it?
That's smooth jazz again.
You cut that boy. He out. He gone. You won't let that boy go.
Man, he kills me when he say, "What do you listen to? What do you listen to get hyped for the game?" So smooth jazz.
Find me one millennial who say, "Oh, that's my joint. That's that T. Campbell, baby."
Hey man, that's that Grover Washington, that Wildlife, baby. What you know about that?
I can't with y'all.
Boy, y'all don't be hitting, boy.
They let nobody make it around here, boy.
Hey,
no, man.
I come back
no
with
this year.
None. The comeback came anyway, so it's all
indeed.
All right, let's take a quick break and come back and talk some football.
2nd and 5. First to the hole up the middle and breaks free. The 20, the 10. Touchdown, Prairie View. And it is Tristan Wallace.
All right, so let's start this off with a disclaimer. It was a W. So any critique is a critique in love. Having said that, it's a critique in love. Having said that, Coach Fredericks, come on, man. Come on. He's going to have to come to the front of the congregation. Some of that offensive play calling was suspect. Unless there's some data points, like Mike would say, that I wasn't privy to, I wasn't clear how you you first and goal, and you did not take not one shot into the end zone. I don't understand.
Well, like you said, it was a win, 34-37 in OT, and what the third quarter, I was like, this game over. We about to take a L.
Hey,
So
I was with you. I have seen a time that was a deficit we could not overcome.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
So kudos out.
Yes.
I went off to Coach Bubba and team
Yeah.
because they did that. They
Coach,
did
did.
that.
Kudos
off
to
to Coach
Trayvon
Bubba.
Conley
Yes.
for having a horrific game, in my opinion, the first half particular. And the third quarter, it was tight. Kudos to him staying focused, pulling it together, and dropping dimes when he needed to.
Yes. Yeah, he did.
Yep. Yeah, I think
TSU didn't score a point. Didn't score in the fourth quarter. Didn't score anything, obviously, in the after. But kudos to them for not giving up. You look at that body language. I remember a time when if PV was down 3 points in the third quarter, oh man, let's go drink.
Done.
But seriously, this team never gave up. So to that, I give them credit. But when you run the ball 55 times and throw it 30 or attempt to throw it 30, the team's going to figure you out. And when you have obvious situations, I'm with that disclaimer. We won, but there are other teams in the SWAC who are going to figure this out. We have a plethora of athletes. Jenkins, Maud Antoine, you got Caleb Johnson, you got Beast. Throw some cross directions, throw some decoys out there or something. But we cannot go to FAMU with this same kind of offense. I'm telling you, it won't work. You saw FAMU play yesterday. You saw what they're capable of. Kudos to PV on the win. They didn't give up, but that offensive scheme, we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board with that one.
And that's the first thing that popped up into my thought process was all the tools that we've been bragging about. They didn't use them.
No.
There was not a single receiver who had more than one catch. Everybody had one catch. I don't understand. You had these big 6'4", 6'3" receivers, Shamar Savage, D'Agostino Santel. They had one catch. I barely saw them on the field. I didn't feel their presence either. You mentioned Caleb Johnson, the running back that transferred from Valley. He barely touched the field.
Caleb Johnson, 13 rushes, 67 yards, average 5.2 a carry.
And one touchdown.
Now, the one thing that I thought that impressed me more than I thought it would was the running game.
Yeah.
Amar Antoine and Caleb Johnson that's going to be a combination that is going to have some success this season. Now, but like you said, we've got some weapons that weren't used. We got some tight ends that if you just drag them across the middle in that bubble because they know you're running on first down.
Yeah.
That's when you do that run play option. But
and they have
it just was not, it was the run play option was overused on second and third down.
Yeah.
You got to let Conley know this is a running play or this is a pass play and let him go because he's trying to read too much. And by the time he lets go of the ball, it's too late.
So that's the confusing part for me. I know he was coming in his red shirt senior year ready to kill it, coming up off of a good junior year. To me, it appeared that he was overthinking it. He felt too much pressure to succeed on his shoulders, and he was overthinking it. In obvious situations where he should have ran the ball, he did not tuck it and run it. He just kept trying to look down the field and taking sacks. So
having said that, it's good you point because Coach in the post game said, he was trying to take on too much. But all this we heard about his improvement on how he passes, how he reads the offense, how he reads the defense. Do you think it was him putting too much on himself, or do you think he made those improvements? Did you see any degree of improvement whatsoever?
I think in the first quarter, Yeah, I saw improvement. That first quarter, he looked really comfortable because
Yeah.
it looked like he had command of that offense. He looked great in that first quarter. By the time you got to the third quarter, it's like they went into halftime and they told him, make sure you look out for this. Make sure and don't forget about this. And if you see this, then do this. So he had too many keys. Let the boy play football, man. He is a baller.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he is a baller. Put the ball in his hands and trust him to make the play. I think when you give him too much, that's when he starts overthinking it. So just bag up off of him, man, and let him play.
Yeah.
So here's my question: you think one of those hits made him scramble too much? Because I feel like the O-line did a decent job.
Oh no, they did more than a decent job.
Yeah,
O-line was phenomenal.
He did not have to scramble out of the pocket as much as he did. And anytime, that's when I'm like, dude, why you out? You got all this room.
Yeah, he had plenty of time.
Got you. And I felt like after he got popped that one time, I think he stopped trusting the O-line. And that's when you saw some differences, and especially by the time you got to the late second quarter, early third quarter.
Yeah,
I
think
one hit ain't gonna make him lose faith in his offensive line. I just think he wasn't seeing open receivers.
Yeah. I think that O-line gave him plenty of time, but there's a clock he had, and the clock he had in his own head. Yeah. And he was like, "Ooh, I got too much time. What do I do with this?" So, you know.
But either way, I definitely saw a lot. He looked really good in terms of his accuracy. I mean, he was spot on the passes that he did throw, and they look really good. I was happy, but
he said it looked really good. I was happy.
I mean, hey man, let's not play. We know.
But the start of the game, living la vida loca.
That's my boy.
Gomez, baby. Billy Gomez. That's my dog.
His whole family was at the
game. Yeah, they were right in front of us, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah, 97. Yeah. He was 3 for 3 and overall accounted for 12 points.
1 point. Hey, that kid has some leg. I saw him practice. That kid has some leg. That kid got some leg. He could easily do a 45, close to 50-yard easily.
Yeah.
And we may need it this season. We shall see.
Well, I'm glad he didn't get tested to see just how far he could go. It was you could tell it was well within his, he was in his comfort zone on each punt. I mean, on each kick. And I'm like, that's what we want right there.
Yep.
Hey, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about that defense though, right quick.
Man, we had a lot of hype over the size that we acquired on that defensive line because that was one of the things last year. By the time we got deep into the SWAC season, we were getting pushed around up front. And we're still running that 3-4 defense, but I think our average defensive line weight is about 255. That's just not going to cut it in the SWAC. If you're not in the 280s, really you need that nose guard to command a double team. So if you're not in the 280s, you got to be a dog. You got to be a Dumas.
Yeah.
And if you ain't a Dumas, then you got to be a butterball that the guard has to block down on. Because otherwise what happened, the guards were out engaging with our linebackers 4 yards down the field. So that's why TSU averaged 7 yards a carry.
Yep.
Because the linebackers were engaged immediately. The guards didn't even have to put a hand over to check to see if the center had the nose guard. He's like, no, I got him. They called the number and now, no, I got him.
And that's the strength of the defense is our linebacking core. We got a ton of linebackers that can run and hit. And so you want them to stay freed up so they can pursue and make plays. And that didn't happen.
No.
We gave up 486 yards, man.
Yep.
200 plus on the ground and 286 in the air against a team that we should have beat by 2 touchdowns, in my opinion.
Dude, I know that secondary got smoked on a number of occasions.
So what about this?
Well, I don't put that all on the secondary because there was no pressure on the quarterback. Bobby standing back there patting the ball 4 times.
Yeah.
He's too good a quarterback to give that much time to.
Yeah, I would say, you can put a lot on this. This is a totally revamped secondary. Keep in mind. I would say you could put a lot, but Andrew Body had too much time. All you got to do is fluster him a little bit, and you gave him time to throw the ball. They were complaining on the other sideline that he was just making bad throws.
Hey, I'm gonna point one kid out. I'm sorry, it was too obvious. Number 3, Freddie Bird, 6'1" DB from a JUCO transfer. He had some hype. I thought this kid was gonna come in and hit it running day one. Every time I'm looking up, he's in pursuit mode, getting toasted. It was so bad they had to pull him and put it in the back. The second string guy. It was bad. I don't know if it was a technique issue. I'm sure again some of it was, but body had a lot of time. But
Yeah.
golly, they picked on that kid all evening.
But I mean,
Sorry.
But they had a kid. You got to admit they had a kid that was nasty, and I don't think nobody knew. Quay Davis, that kid can fly.
Yeah.
You can say what you want to. That kid can flat out fly. He had like.
Now, I don't know if that's who he was. I don't know if that's who was doing the toasting or not. But
he had 7 receptions for 121 yards.
Yeah, and he was that cat was talking cash.
That cat was talking noise and backed it up.
Like, hey, I don't think you can say that on TV.
Yeah, but he was going 100 to 0 back to 100 within 3 yards. It was a sight to see. That boy he's a baller.
Yeah,
he's a baller.
Yeah, I want to shout out to. Go ahead.
I got a quick question though. TSU preseason poll. When were they? Were they supposed to finish first in the West?
They were picked to finish number 3. Number 3 in the West. Okay. Number 3 in the West.
Okay.
I see where you're going, Shaunetta. I was going.
They were expected to be ahead of us. Yes.
Okay.
Well, they looked the part.
Them and Grambling were above us.
You can throw that poll in the trash.
Yeah, as soon as they said Graham was ahead of us, I just toss it.
Yeah, they had TSU and Grambling above us.
Graham looked like the Cleveland Browns of the SWAC.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, now that's what I asked, right? We know if they put Texas Southern at 3rd, right? And we came through with that. So has Texas Southern really increased their performance that much?
Last night they were a different team from last season. I'll say
They look good. I thought Texas.
So with that being said, right, I'm not gonna bash my Panthers like that because again, this was a completely revamped team we're playing, and we only gonna get better.
Yeah.
So
you
know,
know, we're not falling off the cliff. We're not.
No.
I do want to. Let me read off. I'm gonna read off the size of our defensive line. And then y'all play blues with this. 6'4", 250, 6'2", 226, 6'3", 235, 6'1", no weight listed, 6'3", 237, 6'2", 270, 6'1", 185, 6'3", 230, 6'2", 280, 6'4", 300, 6'4", 255, 6'3", 250, and 6'3", 295. It's only 3 of those dudes.
Yeah, 6'4".
That's over 270.
Yeah.
270 or over. 3.
And so I'm
ain't gonna cut it in the SWAC, baby.
You ain't gonna cut it. And
you gotta get that meal plan going or something.
You got some protein break bras or something.
Yeah.
They signed 300-pound dudes after signing day. I don't know where them cats are. I don't know if they are listed on the roster. Obviously not. Maybe their weight is not listed correctly on the roster. Maybe they didn't complete the transfer process. I don't know, but
maybe they lost a lot of weight training in this heat, man. You don't know.
So there's 105 in Houston.
Yeah, man, that is very possible. Hey, but I'll shout out 2 cats that looked really good coming back from an ACL. Jeremiah Harris. This is his second year removed from an ACL. When we saw him the first time, he was a transfer from Kansas State. He was jumping all over the field the first couple games. Then he tore his ACL. He came back last year. I could tell he was not 100%. Last night, he's 100%.
Yeah.
In reverse, the opposite, Stacy Brown, a 6'3" safety, transfer from Missouri. He tore his ACL at the Cotton Bowl Classic last year, and he was going to be an impact player. I was looking forward to seeing what he looked like this year. I can tell that kid is not 100%. He's still favoring his knee, his right knee. Hopefully, he will be able to continue to work on that flexion in his knee and get full extension and be 100% by midseason. But I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing improved play from Mr. Stacy Brown because he's a baller. He just got to get healthy.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Jaquan Bloomfield. That kid came up. We could use him a lot more.
All the receivers,
big reception.
Yeah.
But Trajan Spiller, that kid, that's a beast waiting to be let out the package.
He did the thing. He got speed.
Yeah.
Hey, are y'all in the We Ready shout outs already?
Oh, I know.
No,
huh?
not yet.
Not yet.
I'm like, did I doze off or something?
My bad. I'm sorry, man. I just
Wi-Fi is delayed.
So we got Abilene coming up next week, and Abilene it looks to be loaded. So I am going into this week with I just want to see some things corrected from TSU game. I'm not looking for a dub here, but I do want to see some of the play calling maybe tweak a little bit. Let your ball a ball, and let's see what's going to happen here. But given the pickups at Abilene, this is if we pull out a W here, it's going to be something super impressive.
Yeah, this ain't the Abilene we played last year, and
No, sir. I saw them play a couple days ago. The quarterback dropping dimes, the receivers catching everything, and the defense looked good too. So we have to show up with our A game. I think you saw what you saw last night. Night before last was the first out the gate. They were knocking off rust, working things out. They got a bunch of new guys. They got a bunch of transfer guys on the team. So you can only simulate so much in practice. It take game time to pull it all together. So
I'm gonna drop some nails on the bus ride down there. Drop some nails on the road or something.
All right, let's take a quick break and come back and let's talk some band. All right, Shaunetta. So we saw some musicianship. We heard some music. What are your overall thoughts?
My overall thoughts. Okay. No, overall, I think it was a win for band fans. I think that's what I think overall. So.
That was the safest response ever.
You might as well put that thumb over the
vote. We just had a great turnout at the polls today.
That is so nice. Shaunetta running for office.
No. I said last week that I thought that PV, you could definitely tell from Family and Friends Day that the energy is different. And the energy was different at the Labor Day Classic. So I have to say that. When I look at Zero Quarter, I have to be honest with you. I don't know half of the songs that the band's playing. And I think that's a good thing, though, because what it makes me do is it makes me focus on tone, balance, the sound, musicianship, technique, and so on. So both bands overblowing. It's just not that necessary. But contrary to what I've been seeing a lot of on social media, I'm going to give Zero Quarter to PV. I really am. I think the halftime show, from a PV perspective, we're a fan show. From a PV perspective, I've always said they have to pick up the tempo, and they have picked up the tempo. The tempo forces you to pump and drive, so PV is doing that. I enjoyed the Black Foxes. Something that I saw that I didn't see last year, maybe that's something they're doing this year. The Black Foxes were actually dancing while the band was dancing. Never seen that before. The jury's still out on whether or not I think it's distracting or not, but I mean, it was noticeable. So there were times I was looking at the Black Foxes and I was also looking at we'll see if it works. One thing I know this is not shout out time. This is not We Ready. However, did you notice the twirling thunder?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw when they were about to take the field. I said, hold on now.
Yeah.
They brought them out the stands from basketball, and now they on football. Okay, here we go.
No, the twirling thunder, the flags. The flags. Yeah. Thunder. Yeah.
not the chubby girls.
But those are the same young ladies that were in the stands for basketball season.
Oh, okay.
The twirling thunder. Okay. Well, from watching it on TV, that's all I saw was the twirling thunder. So because some reason we just cannot get people who understand black college halftimes to actually film halftime. Like, bro, this is not what we want to watch the whole time. Can you?
You don't need a close up. Just pan out.
Just spin the camera and give me a wide angle view.
Exactly. So since we're being impartial here, Shaunetta, I asked you this. I walked around when both bands were playing. There were times I couldn't hear PV volume wise. But I got to give it to TSU. Whatever they did, they were going to the side or whatever. You heard them on multiple sides. What did they do different, or did you notice the same thing?
I didn't notice it. I will say that I don't think that stadium is conducive to the bands playing in the stands.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was an afterthought or it's. Yeah,
I agree.
It's just a soccer stadium.
Yeah.
Bad mojo.
Yeah. Now, I will say this about, and actually, I'm going to give halftime to PV again. I'm going to give it to them as well.
Really?
I'm not a fan. I'm still not a fan of the running off the field, but I am a fan of blowing the hell out of swing when you come out. That was, I like that. I like that. As far as Texas Southern halftime, the human jukebox has a saying, often imitated but never duplicated. Texas Southern looks like Southern.
Yes, they do.
Or trying.
I'm glad you said it. They are taking on a Southern-esque mentality, and you can see it when you see the brass section play. You see the shoulders going at every breath, and like you said, they're just trying to outblow you.
I was waiting to see the score on the field. You know, they look like Southern. You know, good version of it though. I didn't like their dance. The tempo for their dance was way too fast. So it's like, what are you all trying to do? So again, overall, and I have to speak in overall because there was some hits and misses for both. Overall, I still have to go with PV for halftime. Fifth quarter, I gotta give it to TSU. I think that someone asked me, what did I think? And I said the best way that I can explain it, PV was playing the songs. Texas Southern was feeling the songs and playing.
That makes a difference.
They were grooving with it. And that, what is it? Paris, Tokyo, Lupe Fiasco that they played? Whoever is writing for Texas Southern is doing a really good job. Really, really good job. But again,
I was impressed with the size of TSU's band.
They are. And you know what? 13 tubas.
They did grow.
13 tubas and they playing. They blowing. They are blowing.
Shouting,
you know, the 13 of them. And they are blowing. But
shouting,
again.
You know the tubas running.
No. But no, for the first game, I am going to be sad at the end of November if I see potential in the Storm, and I'll be really sad if they don't, because I see improvement from last year, and I just think all you can do is improve from here on out. And so, I mean, there were some elements missing. People were saying, well, where was the drum feature? To be honest with you, I hadn't been that impressed with recent drum features, so I didn't miss it. Right?
It wasn't seen everything.
Yeah, I mean,
they did the drum feature right before the third quarter kickoff. The drum stayed on the field.
Okay.
No.
So I watched it on television, and I can't. It's a couple of different things that I need, Dr. Zachary and the drum major Cat 5 to realize is that when we have these televised games, you are on display from the time that clock strikes zero going into the second quarter. And that walk onto the field, that walk off, running off the thing, all of that, to me, is a distraction away from your professionalism. From you need to be on from start to finish. And it wasn't reflected from the angles that I had. So maybe it was different in the venue, but from watching it on television, it wasn't a good look, right?
And I'll say this too. And so for me, the reason why I'm saying PV for the halftime simply because I love the way they ended it, right?
Yeah.
But from a drill perspective, It is Texas Southern, but again, I'm kind of it's hard for me to because I don't like the Texas Southern. They just look too much like Southern for me, and I don't like it. Yeah. I just don't. Southern is known for that. Had you put I always say you put a white uniform on, I should be able to tell what band that was. And aside from that dance, that marching, that 8 to 5 that I talk about, that's Southern style. And it just looked too much like Southern to me. BTSU, don't be Southern. So that's why I just can't give it to them. But I do agree with you from a drill perspective. Texas Southern did look good because PV is like we would do something, then we would stop and stand. Then we do something else and then stop and stand. Whereas yes, Texas Southern did just keep it moving.
Yeah. I felt like they was holding something back though. I didn't feel like they gave it. I feel like, I don't know, it was just like, hey, we're not gonna let the SWAC see everything we got in our arsenal. So I'm kind of optimistic like you are. I'm feeling
I'm optimistic. I don't know if they have our mentality because again, it's a different Texas Southern. Our mentality way back in the day was we'll try some things on Texas Southern and just kind of see, right? But we really were saving it for the Cotton Bowl. Again, I don't know if that's their mentality. I don't know, but
it felt like it though. I'm looking at it from the screen.
I did wonder if they were holding something back.
Yeah.
Maybe for the Cotton Bowl or for maybe even for FAM or whatever.
Maybe for FAM. That's going to be enough. Well, if they're going, are they going?
I don't know if they're going to FAM.
Oh, they got to.
I don't know, dude.
Got to go to that game.
That's an expensive game.
Y'all better start writing some checks now.
It's an expensive
right?
Well, you know what? Maybe if we had
Texas to Florida is an expensive.
Expensive. Maybe if we had our parking spot, we could have donated to help make that
happen. Hey, body blow. Boy. Like Joe said, ain't nobody getting the pass. Ain't nobody getting the pass this week. Talk your shit, Joe.
Hey, but question: what do you think about the new Cat 5?
Our boy Nehemiah made it from the show March.
Yeah,
he's there. Yeah. I like him better than last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad it's 5. I think keep it at Cat 5.
Mm-hmm.
What about their like showmanship level?
I like it. I've seen some footage of them just marching in, marching out. I like them. I think they are I think the head drum major is doing a decent job. I just think everything is time will tell.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, Texas Southern definitely seems to be in mid-season form. And PV, I think we'll see in time, we'll see the improvements there.
We're still in 2 days.
Yeah, I think Texas Southern did that band camp with the white tees and the old school. I think PV practiced indoors because it was too hot.
We're a bit progressive.
We was all hydrated and had Gatorade on the side.
We can't let
they wouldn't drink. TSU was drinking water out the hose.
You know what, Al? You say something, man. That was what I felt when I was watching. I'm like, see, these are two even different types of players that are playing.
Yes,
I feel like our guys came from Humble.
Hey, hold up, bro. You ain't gonna
you came from Emancipation Boulevard.
So, but and not necessarily on the field, but even their demeanors on the sidelines is different. And I'm like like you said, Shaunetta, BTSU, I want us to stay PV, right? We're not really hood like that. So we don't have to go to a different level. I mean, I don't know no other way to say it, man. I mean, like, come on, dude. Can we just not drop our standard to that to compete, right? If we just show what you're gonna do on the field, and then act like you belong where you belong, right? Because they had little kids on the sideline coming up, giving them high fives and stuff. I was like, where did the kids come from?
You know what? That's a whole nother topic. It is just way too many people on the field during the game, period.
Everybody got the hook up in third quarter.
Half the people in the stands were on TSU sideline. And somebody said, those are all recruits. Man, I saw
those are not recruits. That boy just got out of jail. He
still got an ankle monitor on.
But anyway, band section. It's again, I am excited. I'm still excited about this season.
Yeah.
I think there were some people who were saying that, oh, it was TSU. I get what you're saying. I get it. But then also those that are saying Prairie View, I get that as well. But what I cannot give TSU simply by I can't do copycats. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I cannot do it.
She said,
Okay.
So I cannot do
for unoriginality.
Hey, but I will say, hey, that fifth quarter was long, wasn't it? That was.
Hey, it was definitely long. I think 30 minutes is enough. And again, I'm gonna still say with PV, as we continue, it's also gonna be song selection.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that Bob Marley song, I recognized it, but everybody around me was looking around like, what is that?
Yeah.
But, when they got to the part where, is this love? Is this love? Everybody needs to be playing that so that the fans can recognize it. But with the arrangement, the way they had the arrangement, you couldn't really pick it up unless you really knew the song.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we've always struggled with that. That's been on our needs improvement list for a while, right? We've always struggled with song selection because we want to sing along with the band. We want to be there with you, and I have no idea. Like you should know, I had no idea what half those songs were.
It's one thing to know the song. It's another thing to be able to sing with the song. It's a whole different thing to not even recognize what in the hell are they playing.
Well, they sound really good, but
they sound good, but
man, we need some King George. Hit us with some male waiters or something. Got my whiskey, got my money.
Yeah.
Come on,
hit
man.
us with these last $3 or something.
The last $2.
We ain't that hood. Our band director ain't that hood. He is not playing no music like that.
You are
but I do think though, if it's like understand your audience, and I think it was. I hate to feel like I always feel like I'm talking about Jackson State, but it's almost like it was a concert. Like they even know like when to stop playing to let the crowd sing and then come back in.
Jackson State,
right?
And if you saw Jackson State, they sang a song. It was a Mary J. And the crowd, the band stopped playing, kept singing on cue. Then the band picked it back up on cue. That's getting your crowd engaged. That's a whole
celebration.
Yeah, and when done right, you're selling more tickets for the next game. And that's the part that I think athletics, the band, and the university needs to pay attention to is that you're putting on a performance to increase your attendance at the net. But you're performing to build up for the next next game. So we can do better. But hey, man. We did a decent job coming out the box.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a quick break and come back with them re-ready shout-outs. All right, so I think at this point, the consensus player of the game, number 97, Mr. Villa Gomez, man. Our kicker, responsible for 12 out of the 37 points. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, Phil's got somebody. What you got?
Hey, I know we're still in football season, but I want to shout out the women's softball. They posted the list of the academic All-Americans, and that list is far too long for me to read off, which is a great thing. So kudos to all those ladies that made that list, and obviously they was ready.
They ready.
Yeah, man.
Who else you got?
Hey, I got to shout out. I'm gonna shout out just the culture, like you said, Al. Man, we waiting 6+ months to experience this culture, and as soon as you walked up into that stadium last night, you felt the culture shouting loud at you, straight on, man. With the people, a house full of our relatives playing the music, looking at our young men on the field running around. It touched your heart, bro. So shout out to the culture.
I gotta give a shout out to the PV communications group, team, whatever they called. They walked up into that press box like soldiers. handed flags out. Of course, they got their Frenchie's chicken. And then they had assignments. You take grid 1, you take grid 2, you take field, you take field. I mean, they basically took over the TSU slots. They had assignments. They came, posted, made improvements, made reports in, then went back to the field. They had assignments. So that communications group at PV, I think they're ready.
They ready.
All right. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
All right, Shaunetta, you gonna take us out of here?
All right. PV. No, sir.
Wait a minute, I had better internet this week. It wasn't me. It was not me.
I'm like Flash, man. This Spectrum, turn it off. Turn it off, man.